Before we start, do you have any other question? I'm going to start with the last with yesterday's question about how you create a new calendar and you assign it to a particular task. So Blan, yesterday you had this question on how can you assign a particular task, you assign it to a different calendar. Yeah, so I'm going to use yesterday's file that has all the projects for demonstration. Yes, I'm going to go to commercial construction, then I'm going to pick one task. Okay, this first task. What if we don't want it to follow the standard calendar and want it to follow a specific calendar of our own? Yeah, so what you do, you double click on it, and then you come to advanced. Then under advanced, there is calendar. So you can see all your calendars will be listed here down. So if you go and create a new calendar, go project, change working time, and you create a new calendar, and you call it new calendar. And it is a copy of standard. Then we do modifications as any modifications that we're interested in, maybe making this one a working day from 7 and 7 a.m. Okay, let me just leave it where it's just for demonstration. Then you save it. So I can double click on the task. Then I come under advanced and I go to calendar. Okay, supposed to display. Let me first save. Okay, let me first check our calendar projects. Okay, here it can be, our calendar can be displayed in calendar. Now let's check. Oh, okay, let me pass. For some reason it is not. Okay, let me just get a new file. On the project, then we create a new calendar. Okay, let me just try to. Yeah, maybe because I was trying to use the other file of multiple projects. Maybe there is a reason as, but here we can see all the calendars and you can select because this is the new one we created. This is existing standard. Yeah. So That's how you can do it. You just create a new calendar, then you double click on the task and you select a particular calendar. Now, for example, if we go to project information and we set the calendar to standard for the overall project, it is following a standard calendar, but for a particular task, we want to use a different calendar. You can come to advanced, then under calendar, we choose our specific calendar. So for that particular task, it will follow a different calendar, and it will try to show you that the new calendar is assigned to the task. Yeah. So is it clear now?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes. When you are forming the calendar,
Yeah.
I've seen you've used create new base calendar. You've not used create copy of standard. Is it why it has not worked the other side and it has worked here?
Okay. Let's just try it. Maybe it is the issue. Let's try creating another one just from a copy of that. So creating new, say, and we call it second calendar. So let's add another task. Yeah, so this come to advanced. It shows, I think it was a file just, it is here. I was using multiple projects file, the one we did yesterday. Maybe there are some restrictions to that, but either way it works.
Okay.
Yeah. So any other question? Olala, do you have any question before we start?
No, for me. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello?
Yes, we are hearing.
You are getting me now,
eh?
That is good. I don't have any question. I was just having that question why I could not access you people when I'm using the laptop
Maybe
via audio call.
on your laptop, when you put Zoom, don't you see the icon for muting and unmuting?
I see.
Then when you press for you to unmute, it doesn't go on or what?
No, it goes on. Now I've realized I was using a speaker. So when I'm using a headset, that is when I can talk.
Okay. Then that's good. Yeah. So on the things we've so far covered, is there any other thing that you would like us to do, like to repeat or to do an overview before we move on? Yeah, because we started on, yes?
Hello. I don't know whether this one is ahead or something, but I heard that that when you're in the middle of the project, there's when you can when you're in the middle of the project, there's when you can what they call fast track tasks or crash. Is it crash tasks? Like something like that. Pardon? Yes, like crashing. Yes, like certain tasks, maybe increasing resources on them so that they can be what?
In time.
Yes, and then the fast tracking is kind of a way that you carry out the tasks in parallel. Like instead of waiting for this task to be done, you find that you can still do it as well as this one is not done, is not yet finished. You find that you can still do it. So like this thing of linking, say A to B, like A from A comes to B, you find that now B can as well start maybe like in the middle of A without first waiting for it to complete.
That's about relationships in tasks. Yeah, we just didn't cover it in detail, but the other concept you're talking about of crashing, of crashing a project, I don't think like the software can do it automatically, but for you, you can force a deadline Okay, like you can force your tasks to be completed in a certain deadline, and you assign more resources to them. Yeah, but we can maybe cover some concepts and you see the way you can go about that. Yeah, so that one of running different tasks, let me open a project here. Are you seeing that the project I've opened?
Yes.
Now you see these bars, they are different arrows onto them. Yeah, so these arrows are called, they show the relationship between one task and the other. Yeah. So there are different types of relationships. In order for you to access more relationships, you can double click on the task, then you come to predecessor. Yeah. Do you understand the difference between a predecessor and a successor?
Yes.
A predecessor is the activity that this current one depends on. Like in order for task B to start, task A must be completed. So now that means task A is a predecessor to task B. Yeah. So when you want to show a relationship between projects, you have, okay, let me just go to predecessor. Okay, this is the first task, it can't have a predecessor. Let me go to the second task. Yeah, you can see that it has a predecessor, and that predecessor is receive notes to proceed and sign contract with an IDOV for commercial construction. When you look here, leave alone is by this ID because we've gone into commercial construction. Yeah, so when you come to type, there are different relationships that are there. There is finish to start, there is start to start, there is finish to finish, start to finish, and none. Yeah. So if you say the two activities are having a finish to start relationship, it means that the predecessor has to first get done in order for you to start the other activity. That is the finish to start. Then, if you say start to start, it means that both activities have to start at the same time. Yeah, these ones are very rare, but they are those activities that it cannot start unless the other one has started already. Yeah, you see them in construction, like they have to run concurrently. That is the start to start. Then finish to finish, it means that you're going to finish all both activities at the same time. Like when you finish the other one, that's when you'll be able to finish the other activity. That is the finish to finish. Then start to finish, it means that when you start this activity, you finish the other one. Yeah, so these other relationships are rare. Okay, they are not so much used and they are rare. The most common one used is finish to start. It means that the other one has to first get done in order for you to start another activity. But when you say none, it means that I've removed the predecessor, like that activity it doesn't have a predecessor, it doesn't depend on any other activity. So I can schedule it in any date I want, as long as it falls with, as long as it is after the start date of the whole entire project. So when I click OK, if you could realize here, you see this. At the start, let me undo. You see the arrow is there, it is showing when this one gets done, that is a finish, then this one starts. So that is a finish to start. But when I remove it, you see it is going to come back. It is going to come back here to the project start. So now that means there is no relationship between those two activities and they can run concurrently. Yeah. So doing this, as long as you have resources, you can always crash a project. By project crashing, it means that you've been working on a project maybe for the project that has 2 years as the project duration. But when you've reached the first year is done, maybe it was a government project, they tell you, can you have the project in June instead of having it in December? Then what you have to do is you crash the project. Crashing the project means that you're reducing the duration, but you're increasing the cost. Okay, you need to determine how much is it going to cost me in order for me to finish earlier than I'd anticipated before, because you're going to use more resources. So that's what they call project crashing. And I'll try to find out and see whether the software can do it automatically, but I, according to what, like the knowledge I already have, is you can work around that one. You remove predecessors, you change dates, you decrease on duration, then you assign more resources onto the activity. And maybe you can make your human resource to work overtime. So that's how you can crash a project. Yeah. Then I'll try to find out whether the software can do it automatically and it calculates the cost for us, because we're also interested in the cost that we're going to incur when you crash the project, because when you crash a project, it's going to increase the cost as you're using more resources. Yeah, let me hope it is a bit clear. Is it a bit clear, Kibla?
Yes, it's clear.
Yeah. What about Rolala? Is it clear?
Yeah, it is clear.
Yeah. So there are always different relationships here. If you come and look at the if you add a column for predecessor, yeah, it will show you the predecessors for those particular activities. It uses ID, but in case you don't have any predecessor, you just come and uncheck it. Press enter. The predecessor will go, and now you're free to schedule it in any date, any start, because now it comes back to the start of the project. So when you push it forward, and maybe now it is starting on, instead of today, it's going to start on 2060. It's going to affect these other ones that it depends on it. Yeah. So you can see that now the project here, we have a task that it starts, then others follow after that. Then another one starts without depending on any other, and it stops without like depending on any other. Then we have another one that starts without depending on any other, then others depend on it, like that. So you can always change the relationships and the predecessor. Yeah. So another thing, another, okay, for today's session, I'd planned that we cover value and value analysis. Yeah, but uh, here where I am, power went off and I have limited power. It may take less than 1 hour. So what we're going to do, we're going to cover more things that were left in the things that we covered. Yeah? Then the next weekend, I'll bring the value analysis and we cover it. Yeah. So now among the things that are important that we didn't go through last time is there is filtering. When you want to view your projects, there's what you call filtering, the way you can filter in Excel. You may want to filter, now like on project management, you may want to filter, maybe you only want to look at critical activities. Yeah. So how do you view that? Yeah, so this, for that case, you go to view tab, then under filter, you click on the drop down menu. And you see that is having no filter. So now that means you're not applying any filter currently to the activity. Yeah. So you can go to the drop down menu, then you select, for example, I want to look at critical activities. Yeah. So they come. So these are the critical activities according to the project that we're doing. Do you know what critical activities are?
Yes, activities which cannot be delayed.
Yeah. So those ones can, okay, in case you delay them, it means that it's going to affect the entire project. It's going to delay the entire project. Those are the critical activities. So there's what they call a slack in project management. Yeah, so a slack is like that duration in which you can delay the activity and it doesn't delay the entire project. So for critical activities, they have a slack of 0. It means that they don't have any room for delay. If you delay them, you're going to delay the entire activity, the entire project. Yeah, so there are very many filters that you can look at. You can look at completed tasks in case you've done project. Okay, in case you updated the project. Yeah, let's try to do that. Shall go to here and say percent complete. And now we can say maybe all these ones at 100% complete. Then these ones are at 50%. Yeah. So I come back to view, then filter, and I say completed tasks. Yeah. So it's going to bring for me the tasks that have been completed. Yeah. So you never know, maybe you want to print them out or you want to have a look at them. Yeah. That's how you can view completed tasks. Yeah, if you want to see incomplete tasks, to bring all of them, those ones with 0% and those ones with a percentage, but which is not yet 100%. Yeah, so there are very many. If you want to have a look at milestones, we saw how you set a milestone, you give it 0 days. Yeah, if the milestones are there, they will display. Now, for example, if we come and make this, okay, we can insert a task and we call it first milestone. Yeah. Then give it 0 days like that. This. So it will understand that it is a milestone. So when we go to view and I come to milestones, it will display this. And so you may ask, why is it displaying these ones? These are just levels showing you where the milestone is located. But the real milestone is those projects that have 0 days. Yeah, so we can view milestones and we can view very many other things. Yeah. Then another one, it is called group by. Yeah, so for group by, you can see here we group in projects into different levels, but you may want to look at different groups. For example, I want to group projects by okay, active and inactive. So it will show me active activities. Those are the ones that are ongoing. And it shows me the percent complete on those ones. Then it will also have the ones that are inactive. Okay, maybe according to this one, let's try another group by. Let's use resource. Yeah. So you see that now it is going to group by a particular resource. So the resources are the ones that are going to be on top, then the activities will be down. Like under applied contractor, you will see the activities that are located to him. So you can see this is very helpful because now here you may want to know each resource, how many activities does it have? Maybe you have a subcontractor or the grader. You want to look at how many activities are very assigned to that particular grader. So you can group activities by by certain concept or like figure, then you're able to view that. Yeah, but it is temporary. It doesn't change the whole project. It doesn't change the whole project structure. So when you come back, the project is still okay. It only groups. So if you see that whatever is here, okay, like what you want to group by is not there, you can go to new group by. Then it will ask you group by what. Then you're able to get more. Like now you can search for whatever thing that you want, maybe resource group or resource name or any type, anything that you want as long as it is there. Then when you're done with that and say apply, that's when it is going to do the grouping for you. Yeah. So that is the group by. Yeah. So is that one clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Then also another thing about viewing, because it is also important as you're trying to understand the project, how the project is going on. Yeah. So here under view, you can see that we have task usage. So when you click on it, it's going to bring every task and how many hours are in that task. That's what they call task usage. Don't confuse it with, there is work usage also. You can come here, there is resource usage, this. Yeah, so for this one, it will show you the resources and the work that has been allocated to those resources. That's the difference between resource usage and task usage. So task usage, find it under here, you go to task usage, just going to show you the number of hours that are going to be done for that particular task and which resource is there. Like now, finalizing plans and involvement estimate with ownership. Yeah, so you can see the resources that are under that. There is general contractor, 40 hours, architect, 40 hours, the owner, 9.6, and the mortgage lender, 9.6 hours. But for resource usage, when you come back here, you're going to see that now the resources are the ones that are going to be like kind of like the further to the list. And now the list will be the tasks. So for each resource, you're able to know that how many tasks are assigned to that particular resource. Yeah. So that is the difference between the two. And it is also important, you may want to have a look at how many tasks have I assigned to a particular activity, or you may want to look at an activity and uh, the number, the resources that you've assigned to it and how many hours for that particular activity. Yeah. So let me hope also that one is clear. Then we can move on to another one. Yeah. So also when we're still on viewing, we can view different levels of the project. If you only want to look at like the overall or the overall project, in case you have one project, you just come to outline, then say hide subtasks. So if these were open, if the subtasks were open, and you come to outline and say hide subtasks, it's going to hide all of them. Yeah. But when I come to outline and I say show subtasks, it's going to show all of them up to the tasks. Like for all the projects you open. Yeah. Or I can come to outline and I say I only want level 1. Then that is the project. Remember, it is the one that has multiple projects, so it is the level 1 in this case. And when I go to level 2, it will show me this. So if I go to level 3, it means that it's going to show me now. It's not going to show me the tasks, but it's going to show me those the ones that are on level 3. When you try to open it, we can be able to see the number of activities that are supposed to be completed in order for you to finish a particular work package. So these ones are sometimes referred to as work packages. So that is the importance of this. You can view up to a particular level. It depends on the way you schedule your activity. Yeah. Then for sorting, this one you can decide to view your activities. Maybe let's first outline all of them. Show subtasks. Let's say sort by start date. Yeah. So if I sort by start date, it's going to list all of them according to the start date. But now since these ones were linked together, their start date is kind of in an ascending order. Yeah. So that's why let's you see when I change to finish date, it will change. It will sort them according to the finish date, and it will bring the one that's going to get done closer, like the one with the closest finished date is going to be the first task to be viewed. Yeah. If you say by ID, it will just follow the ID. That's how you can do the sorting. Yeah. Then another thing that you can look at is also still under view. You can go to view. Then now you realize that there are very many tables. The table we've been already working with is called entry table. So if you want to look at the variance table, you can also change it from here instead of coming here. See here we access the tables that we can look at here. Usage, but it is the same thing here. But these are not the only tables in Microsoft Project. There are very many tables. In order for you to access those tables, you come to more tables. Then now you are able to see the tables that belong to tasks. These are the tables that based on tasks. Then those ones that based on resources, they are here. For example, Andy value, entry, export, hyperlink. Yeah, you just change there. Maybe I want to look at the schedule table, then you say apply. So it is the table that will be here. Yeah. So let me hope those ones are clear. Are they clear?
Yes, yes, they are.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So then another thing we're going to look at is it is called work breakdown structure. Have you heard about that concept before in project management, the work breakdown structure? Brian, have you come across it?
Yes, I've heard about it.
What is it about?
I think it is it's a way of grouping. For example, if you're going to do a certain work, you know what tasks fall under that certain work you're going to do. So it's kind of maybe grouping the tasks under a level or something like that.
Yeah, actually, that is it. That is true. A work breakdown structure, the way you're seeing these, just now they are arranged in a different format. But it looks like an organization chart. Yeah, but now in this case, we have tasks. For example, if you're building a residential house, you're going to have residential house on top. Then under that, you may be having foundation, superstructure, and maybe roofing. So that is another level. So under foundation, you have different tasks that are involved under foundation. Then also under superstructure, you have different tasks that belong to that. Then also under roofing, you have different tasks that belong to that. Yeah, so that is called a work breakdown structure. The way you seeing this, because it is also trying to mimic the same concept, but now it is being reviewed in a different way. Yeah, so a work breakdown structure is named according to the levels. The one which is the topmost level is named with 1 or 1.0. Then now the sub-projects under that, or what we could call on level 2, they are named with 1.1, then 1.2, then 1.3. Then when you go down, it will be 1.1.1, like that. So we want to have a look at how do you represent a work breakdown structure here in MS project. Yeah. So the easiest way to do it is you can just come to format. If you are in any other if you are in any other tab, you can change from that tab you are in, then you come to format, then you select this outline number, this one here. So when I say outline number, maybe let me double click here. If there is no outline, you see it is just, I just have to click and get to know that belongs to that, like that. But when I say outline number, so it's going to take construction projects as one. Maybe you can use our view, go to outline, level 2. You see that? This is what I was talking about. Now construction projects is taking 1, then commercial construction is taking 1.1, then residential 1.2. So those that will be falling under commercial construction will take 1.1, then another one, maybe let's go to level 3. Yeah. So I think that, so here it is showing 1, 2, 3, 4, but when you see it incomplete, it will be 1.1, 1.1, then 0.1, 1.1.1, then 0.2, like that. Yeah, so this is, okay, it's just for visualization, for you to view the project very well, and for you maybe to be organized. So that's the way you can represent work breakdown structure. But there is also inbuilt WBS, it's called WBS code. Yeah, so if you add that column and if you add a new column and search